going to demo how to easily install a zipper when you're making a pillow. So these are the materials that we're going to be working with. This sewing machine is already set up to go. It's threaded. We have a bobbin in here. We have a mat that we're going to use to cut the fabric with a rotary cutter. This is the proper ruler. You'll notice that it's a little thicker, because if you use a regular plastic ruler, you could end up ruining your blade in the rotary cutter. We have the rotary cutter itself, which has a fresh blade in it. We have a seam ripper, a zipper foot, a scissor, a zipper, measuring tape in case we have need for that, and we're going to use this as the back, which is where the zipper is going to go. And this we're going to use as the decorative front. And the pillow form, which already has a cover on it, but we're going to cover right over it. So it's 19.5 inches square. For the cutting of the material, for the top, we're going to cut a piece 20.5 inches square. That allows for the seam allowance on all four sides. For the back, we're going to add additional 2 inches for seaming the middle. So we're going to cut that piece 19.5 inch with the grain running up and down by 21.5 inches wide. Then we're going to take that piece and cut it right down the center. So this piece for the back is 19.5 this way, 21.5 this way, so we're going to cut this in half. So now we have the back piece cut into two. The next thing that we're going to do, and I might mention here that if you have fabric that might fray, this would be a good time to zigzag stitch the edges. So now we have both the front fabric and the two pieces for the back cut, and we zigzagged around the edges to keep both pieces from fraying. Now what we're going to do, I know we cut this in half, we're going to sew it back together again. Okay, the next step in the process, we're going to iron open the seam where the zipper is going to go. We're not going to iron this, we're going to press it, which means, gently lifting the iron up and just pushing down a bit to set the stitches. Now we can open it up. And spread it out, and what I've always done is just finger press the seam. This also helps to get a nice crisp straight seam. Okay, we're working on the front side, and what we want to do is get rid of those extra threads so they don't distract me. I'm going to put the zipper right underneath the seam and kind of centered top to bottom. And when we sew it, we're going to flip this back up so that I can see where I'm sewing. Okay, we've installed the zipper foot, and if you can see, it has an opening for the needle on one side and also on the other side. When you put the zipper on, you're going to, according to what side of the zipper you're sewing on, you'll have to move that either to the right or to the left. When you align the zipper on the back, what you want to make sure is that you're far enough away so that when you seam this seam, you're not anywhere near any of the plastic or metal parts. So you're going to line that up like that. Hold your finger on it so it doesn't jiggle around, and slip it underneath. Oh, we have to get this little guy out of the way. Put that to the top or to the other side. to the end of the zipper, you want to make sure that this little tab thing is out of the way so you don't break your needle. We're going to open up this seam, and I don't know if you've ever used a seam ripper, but you start it carefully with the pointy end, and then you stick this little knobby end in here so that you don't stick the seam ripper through the material. So I put a piece of packing tape on top here so that hopefully it will save me some time in getting all these little pieces out of the way. Another trick that I've used is I always keep a tweezer in hand. But that works. So here is the zipper. The last step would be to sew the top, the front, to the back. So I'm going to put what I think is the right side to the right side, which would be exposing the zipper. We're coming down to the last step. We're pinning the top to the bottom, and we opened up the zipper so that we can turn it this way. Okay, so what we've pinned all the sides, and you see that these corners are marked with a little curve in them. I do that so that you don't have a lot of floppy material on the corners. Now we turn it right side out. Alrighty. Well, we zipped it up, and if it looks like it needs a little adjusting, you can always just keep pounding on it until you got the pillow where